Hello and welcome to another Taz McCarthy tutorial, this time on Scratch and how to have some sort of character selection. The simplest way to do this would to just be to have one sprite and then a whole bunch of different characters for each costume. But that assumes that your character won't actually be animating by switching between these. So if you've got a really simple game, that's the simplest way to do it, and you just tell it which costume you want it to switch to. But in this case, we've got two characters with a lot of different frames. Perhaps you've got a fighting game or a platformer where they're going to be switching between these to simulate running or punching or jumping or dancing or whatever else. So therefore you need to have separate sprites with separate sets of costumes. The way we do this is fairly simple. We make a variable called character, and when the game starts we want to set that to 0. And then the scripts for each character is almost exactly the same. Each of them have a when the green flag is clicked, go to an XY and show. So for the female character it's slightly different spots, so they're not on top of each other. And then we have a script that says when they're clicked, set the character to 1, and for her it's set the character to 2, and then it sends a broadcast. And the broadcast is going to be received by all of your sprites as well as the stage. So you might have a fighting game where there's 8 characters to choose from. So doing it this way means you have the one broadcast that goes to all of them. And basically when the characters receive that, if it's not character 1 and he's number 1, then hide. If he is character 1, which we've set by clicking him, then he's just going to ignore that hide and stay on the screen. Same one for her, except character 2 instead of 1. And then down the bottom we have any controls like we might normally have, for instance right arrow and left arrow. Normally we would have just like that. So when the game starts, right arrow makes them point to the right and move 10 steps, and left arrow the opposite. By putting this wait until the character equals 1 here, if the character is 2, then this will never happen, and therefore it won't try and move the wrong character around the screen and waste the computer's thinking power. So let's test this now. When we start the game, the character is set to 0. They're both on the screen because we told them both to show. And if I press the right and left arrow, which I'm doing now, nothing actually happens because that won't occur until the character equals 1, or for her, until the character equals 2. Nothing happens at all. As soon as I click him, it's going to set the character to 1. It's going to send a broadcast to hide, and what happens is the female character will say, well, the character is not character 2 because it's going to be set to character 1 by clicking him, and she's going to hide. And then this script down here, wait until character 1 will activate, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to switch to character 1 and our movement will start to work for him. So let's click him. She receives the hide broadcast and hides. His controls become activated. And for her, because the character never equaled 2, it was either 0 or 1, it's still waiting for that, and the left and right arrow won't move her at all. We can see her X and Y don't change up the top here, whereas his X and his direction is changing back and forth. So it's just a matter for each set of characters of lining up your costumes in the same way, but telling it to not do anything from keyboard commands or mouse commands until one of them's been clicked. Probably would be a good idea to have on your stage some sort of instruction to click to choose your character for when the game starts, just so that the player knows what they're meant to be doing. Just lock that in so she doesn't go upside down, and the game works. Good luck.